NASA found evidence of ancient life on Mars, and they're not telling you everything. If you watch this to the end, you will know what humanity's spacecraft have truly discovered over the past half-century, and why some of those discoveries still have no official explanation. 7 mysteries, grounded in real mission data. Let's begin. A few months ago, NASA's Perseverance rover found what may be the remains of ancient microbial life inside a Martian rock, announced in September 2025. Published in one of the world's most respected scientific journals, and most people have never heard of it. Why is that? Over 50 years of Mars exploration, one question has never gone away. Are we alone? Here are 7 things NASA's spacecraft have found that still don't have a clean answer. Number 7. The giant spiderweb on Mars that NASA cannot explain. In 2025, Curiosity was climbing the foothills of Mount Sharp when it encountered something unexpected: massive interlocking ridges, nearly 2 meters tall, crisscrossing for miles across the surface. From orbit, they look exactly like a giant spiderweb. Scientists call them boxwork. What troubled researchers was not the size, it was the location. These formations exist nowhere else on the mountain. Not above, not below, only here, only this one layer. Curiosity's project scientist Ashwin Vasavada said it plainly. Why the ridges hardened into these massive patterns, and why only in this one location, is the biggest mystery we're facing. On Earth, boxwork exists in caves, a few centimeters tall. The Martian version stands taller than a grown man, and stretches more than 10 kilometers in every direction. Planetary scientist Kirsten Siebach noted that early Earth microbes could have survived in exactly this kind of environment: warm underground conditions, salty liquid water flowing through rock. That is what makes this place worth investigating. In November 2025, Curiosity sent back a 1.5 billion pixel panorama of this region, the largest Mars photograph ever taken. One question comes with it: could nature alone have built something like this? Number 6. Pure sulfur crystals on Mars. No mission has ever seen this before. In the summer of 2024, Curiosity rolled over a small pale rock. It cracked, and from inside spilled yellow crystals, pure sulfur, something no Mars mission in history had ever encountered. On Earth, pure sulfur forms near volcanic vents and hydrothermal fields. These are extreme environments, and they are also among the most biologically active places on the planet. Microbes thrive there. Life clings to existence in exactly these conditions. So what does pure sulfur mean on Mars? NASA has no definitive answer yet. The question remains open: is this ancient geology, or a signal that something beneath the surface is still active? Number 5. Methane on Mars. There are no volcanoes, so where is it coming from? In the 1970s, Mars was considered a dead world, and then Curiosity started measuring the air. NASA's own records confirm it: seasonal variations in atmospheric methane, organic molecules preserved in 3-billion-year-old rocks. NASA's official language describes these findings as a positive sign for the possibility that life once existed on Mars. Methane on Earth comes from 2 sources: geological activity and living things, bacteria, decomposing matter, biological processes of all kinds. Mars has no known active volcanoes, and yet methane keeps rising and falling with the seasons. In 2019, Curiosity detected a sudden methane spike larger than anything previously recorded. It surged, then vanished within days. The source was never identified. Something underground triggered it. No one knows what. Number 4. Perseverance found the best evidence of ancient life on Mars ever. This is the most important entry on this list. On September 10, 2025, NASA announced that Perseverance had identified a potential biosignature inside a rock from Jezero crater. The rock is nicknamed Shyava Falls. The findings were peer-reviewed and published in Nature. Jezero crater was a lake billions of years ago. A river fed it. Sediments settled at the bottom. In those sediments, traces of ancient life could be preserved indefinitely. Inside Shyava Falls, scientists found iron phosphate rings, arranged in circular patterns, across the rock surface. On Earth, this structure is left behind when ancient microbes live inside rocks and draw energy from surrounding minerals. It is a biological fingerprint. One geologist put it this way: if this is confirmed, it means 2 separate planets, both hosted microbial life at roughly the same point in the early solar system. Not one world with life, 2, which suggests that wherever conditions allow, life finds a way. The rock core is still sealed inside Perseverance, waiting to be brought to Earth. Number 3. Jupiter's moon Europa. There is an ocean under the ice, and something is pushing it to the surface. When Voyager passed Europa in the late 1970s, its surface was covered in ice, but the ice was cracked. Long brown fissures ran in every direction, suggesting liquid movement beneath. NASA's Galileo spacecraft confirmed it between 1995 and 2003. Disturbances in Jupiter's magnetic field near Europa could only be explained by a conducting fluid under the ice, a saltwater ocean in complete darkness far beneath a frozen shell. Then Hubble captured water vapor plumes erupting from Europa's surface, rising over 100 kilometers into space. And here is the part with no satisfying explanation. These plumes appear only in one hemisphere, only the trailing side, not the other. Why? Scientists are still not certain. In October 2024, NASA launched the Europa Clipper, designed to fly past the Moon 49 times and sample those plumes directly. If amino acids are found in that material, it will be the most significant discovery in human history. Number 2. Voyager 1 sent an unreadable signal from interstellar space. For months, no one could understand it. Voyager 1 left Earth in 1977. It now travels more than 24 billion kilometers away, farther than any object humanity has ever sent into space. In late 2023, it stopped making sense. The spacecraft was still operating, still receiving commands, but its telemetry had become completely unreadable. Nothing but strings of zeros and the number 377 repeating without pattern. The signal was arriving. The machine was alive, but no one knew what it was saying. With a one-way signal travel time of nearly a full day, every diagnostic attempt took 2 days to complete. Eventually, an engineer decoded the signal and found a single, corrupted chip inside the onboard computer. Nearly 50 years of cosmic radiation had finally damaged one small piece of hardware. NASA rewrote the software around it and restored communication. One of the most remarkable repairs in engineering history, conducted across 24 billion kilometers. What remains is a quiet thought. We have placed a machine beyond the solar system. We barely understand what exists out there, and when it tried to speak, we could not hear it for months. Number 1. The face on Mars, what NASA showed us, what they didn't, and what we're still finding. On July 25, 1976, Viking 1 photographed a region of Mars called Cydonia. What came back was a mesa, 2 kilometers long, that looked exactly like a human face. Eyes, nose, mouth, looking up at the sky. The chief scientist called it a trick of light and shadow, but the image traveled around the world. Books, documentaries, careers devoted to the argument that what Viking photographed was not geology but architecture. A monument left by something that no longer exists. In 1998, Mars Global Surveyor photographed the same mesa at high resolution. The conclusion was definitive: a natural hill, an optical illusion. The face was not a face, but 2 questions were never cleanly answered. Why did NASA release a filtered version of the original 1976 photograph, rather than the sharpest image available? And why did it take 6 weeks after the 1998 flyover to release those high-resolution images? The official answer is technical delay. Not everyone who worked on those missions agreed. The mesa was almost certainly natural, but it directed humanity toward Mars, and on Mars, in April 2025, Perseverance's samples were found to contain the most diverse collection of organic molecules ever detected on the red planet. 21 carbon compounds, 7 never before seen on Mars. The face was a hill, but that hill started everything. And what it started is still unfolding. So here's where we stand. Ridges no one can explain, sulfur crystals never seen before, methane from a planet with no volcanoes, a rock bearing the fingerprints of ancient life, an ocean moon erupting into space, a spacecraft that went silent between the stars, and a photograph that for 50 years has kept the door from fully closing. Are we alone in this universe? We are closer to answering that question now than at any point in human history. And the answer, whatever it turns out to be, will change everything. What did you find most striking today? Leave your thoughts in the comments.